Right now, some studios are refusing to touch generative AI at all, and others are going completely AI first. Same industry, totally different direction. You can even make the argument that it's industry-wide anxiety. According to a recent analysis, 41% of developers were recently affected by layoffs. 11% were personally laid off themselves. A significant portion of the industry is being affected by this. And a lot of this is stemming from workers being replaced by AI. Gaming companies are finding out that they can cut costs, time, and effort by replacing these workers with AI. We could take a look at the reported reasons of why these layoffs are happening. According to the survey, 22% reported that they were laid off because of restructuring issues. 18% reported revenue decline. 15% reported industry shifts. And 19% literally gave no reason at all. This isn't necessarily edge cases, it's industry-wide anxiety. And given the significance of these layoffs, it kind of changed how AI is interpreted in the gaming industry. AI came out during instability. It arrived during a massive job loss. That time and poison trust before results could even be evaluated. And you could take a look at the comparison between the AI adoption and the trust issues that people have with it. 52% work at companies using generative AI, but only 36% use it. AI use is typically highest in business/leadership roles, not core development. You can even take a look at the sentiment shift. The positivity towards AI declined from 21% to 13% in just a year. And the negative view increased from 18% to 30% in just a year. So you might have to look at it. Why are the developers feeling this way? They feel like it's taking away from the heart and soul of the development process, the creativity. Many of these studios are just using it to cut time. If you can save hours and hours and hours on voice recordings and the visual development process, well, you're gonna do it. Let's use the voice recording example. What many of these studios do, they take, let's say, real actors, and they may have them read off a few lines or whatever, and then they put that into some type of translation system or whatever, and then that's how it's gonna generate into the AI. Keep in mind too, it saves hours and hours of voice recording. Hell, not even hours, days, weeks, months. A lot of the times you have to retake a lot of it. A lot of people feels like it takes away from what makes games good in the first place. And also too, you have to look at that trial and error process. Bringing in AI eliminates that loop. The loop from creation to curation. The average developer definitely goes through this. You brainstorm ideas, you go through that mental block, you try good things, smart things, stupid things, dumb things, whatever things, until you find that one idea. The question isn't necessarily does AI create, but who is making the creative decision? Creativity used to come from constraints. AI removes some constraints, but could maybe introduce some new ones. What are these new constraints? The model's training data, the stylistic defaults, tool updates, model changes, platform rules, etc. Teams designing around tools instead of ideas. You have to maybe look at, what are the gamers thinking? Gamers don't necessarily reject AI outright overtly, but they just reject the soulless input behind it. What is that soulless input? Being interchangeable, lacking strong, authentic voices, avoiding risks, polished but maybe a bit forgettable. Here's an important distinction. Humans can make soulless content too, but when you have AI, it can make it a bit easier to do that process. Here's what the players are noticing: repetition in dialogue, generic character arcs, being over safe with the world building, games being visually similar. Players are just taking a look at the emptiness. Some are simply just rejecting it because it's AI, but I think it's the emptiness that matters here. Here's what I think the players care about: the ability to feel, the ability to experience. AI becomes visible when quality dips or when assets feel repetitive. The fear isn't necessarily AI, it's corporate shortcuts. Gamers typically tend to notice patterns before they notice tools. Now, you might be thinking, what are the specific positions that are affected by these layoffs? Well, you can maybe look at the QA/playtesting roles, the concept art, narrative support, localization, and most importantly, I think it's the junior and contract positions. Now, what are the positions that are going to be remained untouched? It's going to be typically like the leadership, higher up positions, the senior creative leaderships, typically CEO positions, management, etc. AI replaces the entry points, not vision. Now, I touched a little bit upon how AI is used in voice recording and gaming, but let's elaborate a bit more on how it's used. Concept drafts, placeholder assets, dialogue iteration, procedural content, etc. But here's the stuff that it still needs: human frequent review, cleaning it up, style consistency. AI speeds up the iteration process, but it still adds dependency. Now, is this process unstable? AI models change, tool updates, output drifts, training data concerns that I did touch upon a little bit, long-term maintainability concerns. Now, I have been using the word iteration, but what does that mean here? The traditional iteration includes idea, build, test the idea, maybe fail, maybe succeed, but then adjusting afterwards. That whole trial and error process I was talking about earlier. Here's what failure might teach you: your taste, your judgment, what not to do. Slow down a little bit if you're being too quick. Now here's the AI iteration. Idea, generate, select, tweak. Who knows, maybe it might be a bit more efficient. Maybe it might involve a bit less failure. Maybe this input is faster, but what's the trade-off from it? You get speed, but learning is going to decrease. The developers are going to lose the formative experience. You can also take a look how studios are responding to AI. Obsidian, no generative AI used at all. Larian, AI used as a tool, but not necessarily a replacement. Krafton, AI first strategy. It's the same industry, total opposite philosophy. We can maybe take a look at that balance between AI and human creation. Here's what that will look like. AI being used for prototyping, brainstorming, placeholder access. Humans are controlling the final decisions, style, narrative intent, writing for the most part, quality standards, etc. Here's what balance isn't. Full automation, removing human oversight, replacing learning roles. That's not balance, that's instability. I feel like this removes trust in the industry also. Developers feel replaceable, players grow skeptical, accusations replace discussion, quickness being prioritized over creativity, knowledge living in models, not people. I think from a developer perspective, they're seeing it as safer ideas getting more rewarded. In today's day and age, risk is becoming way more expensive. A lot of these guys are gonna have to play it safe. A lot of these companies don't want to invest millions and millions and millions of dollars into a game and that game not do well. Developers want to see sales rise and not decline. But this is something to take into consideration. At what cost? I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that AI is great for the industry and we're moving in the right direction? Or is it terrible, or does it limit creativity? I'm curious to know all of your guys' perspective on this topic. How do you guys feel about the layoffs? Do you guys think the layoffs strictly come from AI, or do you think that it's replacing their jobs? I think you also have to consider the fact of development costs rising up, salary demands, etc. Project cancellations, overexpansion during COVID. But a 1 in 10 development layoff rate is not a mistake. It's the result of what we're seeing the industry turn into.